So sometimes the past comes back to haunt you, such as in Joel Edgerton's feature film directorial debut, The Gift. Simon and Robin are a young married couple whose life is going just as planned, until a chance encounter with an acquaintance from Simon's high school sends their world into a harrowing tailspin. Simon doesn't recognize Gordo at first, but after a seemingly coincidental series of encounters and mysterious gifts prove troubling, a horrifying secret from their past is uncovered after nearly 20 years. As Robin learns the unsettling truth about what happened between Simon and Gordo, she starts to question, how well do we really know the people closest to us, and our past bygones ever really bygones? So indeed, this is the feature film directorial debut of longtime actor Joel Edgerton, who also wrote the film and is part of the main cast of this film. And I was very excited going into this thing that I really like psychological thrillers. Haven't had a good one this year, so seeing trailers that looked like it was very kind of edgy and suspenseful and everything, and liking the talent that was shown on screen in the trailers, such as having Jason Bateman there in a role that is much different than all the comedic stuff he does, something very dramatic, very serious. I was very enticed by this film, and ultimately I think The Gift is a very solid thriller, with a few things that I had a couple issues with in terms of some personal feelings and some other things I felt played a little bit on cliches of the genre, but in general I think this is a very good film that Joel Edgerton should be immensely proud of, because his direction in this film definitely shows a very seasoned, competent, and confident quality to him, that everything looks spectacular in this film. I think the cinematography of this film is very, very good. I just liked the color scheme that they used. It was a little bit muted, a little bit dark here and there, and just everything just looked very, very well. That everything is very well paced out, extremely well edited. I thought all the suspense and the tension worked very, very well. But generally, in terms of the acting quality in this film, like I said, Jason Bateman was a very much a highlight for me, because I like him in a lot of the comedic stuff he's done. He's a very talented comedic actor, but seeing him do something completely on the opposite side, the flip side of everything, was very enticing to me, and I was very impressed with what he did in this film. It was like, his performance in the film was probably my favorite, because he has so much ground to cover with the emotional range of this character, that he definitely is a character. This character of Simon definitely goes on a certain arc in the film, that you see this guy at the beginning, he just seems like a regular average type of guy, nothing to hold against him, but as things go along and certain secrets are dredged up and different things happen in the film, as the entire plot line develops and progresses, you definitely see a much more intense turn, a lot darker turn in certain moments for this character and various other characters throughout the whole film. I thought Bateman just executed everything on such a magnificent level with how he just had to deliver everything. It was so convincing and so solid all the way through. Everything he had to do in this film, I absolutely loved it. I gravitated so much towards this character for so many different reasons. And Joel Edgerton, being the writer and director and one of the main stars of the film, you might think that someone would go on an ego trip in that type of way, but obviously that is not the case, because he is such a great level-headed type of talent that he just goes in this thing with the right mindset to really kind of make sure that everything he does services the story and the plot of this film and the characters overall. And his performance in this film was also very, very good. That it takes a lot of complexities with this character of Gordo and executes him in such a magnificently subtle fashion, that there's so many things going on with this character, that he's a bit socially awkward, but also sometimes you could see this guy might seem like a creep too. There's like this real nice fine line that he's balancing throughout the whole film between this guy who can seem very vulnerable and very sympathetic, but also twisted and turns things back around. It's like, this guy seems shady, he seems strange, and he just like can come off as very easily as a creep. So it's like he's playing so many different things on such a subtle level that you push anything too far in one direction or other, it throws the balance way off, and it could really crash and burn the film, or go into a kind of a cheeky territory or something that just wouldn't tonally fit with everything. But he's just so perfect with everything that he has to do with the performance, and how he directs the film overall is absolutely fucking perfect with what he does with everyone involved with the film, including his own performance. And Rebecca Hall's performance in the film as the character of Robin, the wife of Jason Bateman's character, had a few little problems with the character. That performance is fine, but this is where some of those cliches I felt kind of started weaving into the film a little bit. That felt like there was certain things with her character that played on a lot of the tropes of a psychological thriller of this sort. That she definitely is the character who, taking a different stance against the character of Gordo opposed to her husband's view, that probably the view everyone going into the film would say is like, this guy seems a little... You don't want to spend too much time with this guy. You want to have some distance with this guy who's really kind of trying to encroach upon their privacy and their lives and everything. Is like, the wife is very much welcoming of the guy. She thinks he's sweet and charming and whatnot, but obviously that's like a sort of thing that the audience themselves can see beyond that, because they know what the type of film is, so they see that this guy is going to be the creep. He is going to be the psychopath in the film. And so the wife is being very contrary to what the audience perception would be. And there's a couple little things going on that she just does the same old type of thing that you see in a lot of psychological thrillers, where like the wife starts going behind the back of the husband and starts distrusting people and starts doing things justifiably so from what we understand, but just like there's a lot of played out stuff that I've seen done so many times before that I'm just a little tired of seeing it, and just kind of like, it got me a little bit frustrated with how the character was going through the storyline of this film. That's just like, I would have liked to see something different, a different approach, something different in that realm. But Rebecca Hall's performance is still very good. There are certain things about the character itself that just didn't quite connect with me very well, and there's even moments in the film where sort of the same old horror movie slasher flick type of trope where the vulnerable woman in the middle of the night starts hearing creaks and cracks in the house and starts walking through the house all dark and everything. Just seems like I've seen that so many times. It's such a painful cliche in movies like this, or any kind of slasher flick you've ever seen, where you just expect something to jump out of nowhere, which this film does have some jump scares, which annoyed me. Only about 2 or 3 of them, but just like, it was such a well-crafted suspense thriller that just throwing a cheap jump scare just kind of like really annoyed me at those moments of time. But generally, I think the film is very intelligent, that it just takes all the gradual pace of it to really develop very well the characters and the storyline and the little secrets and all the things that had to weave together throughout this plot line. Did it very intelligently and very smoothly, and just everything just really worked very well. I just liked how everything got turned around on characters, and all the manipulations and the deceit and all this kind of stuff just really started playing with the minds of the main characters of Robin and Simon. That the character of Gordo is definitely someone preying on their psyches and everything, and it's very much more psychological than it is sort of a guy stalking through the dark with a knife or whatnot type of thing. So it's very much different in that type of way. It's not going so far into like tropes of the genre. It's still taking things and melding the story around the psyches and the emotional trauma of these characters, that it's really ripping and tearing at their souls and their hearts or anything. Just like, this character of Gordo is really out to do some real damage to these people, and it's a very interesting journey that this film takes at a very gradual pace that is still very interesting and engaging as it goes along. I think overall the film is very good, but some of the problems I had in that, I did not have a good time in high school. Let me just say, it was my 4-year exile in the 10th level of hell, so I know about getting picked on a regular basis. I know going through hell every single day and not having a good time of it. And so, seeing this film, trying to have certain people force sympathy upon other characters with the stuff that goes on, that gets revealed in the backstory of these characters, and just like, my own personal feelings just couldn't allow me to sympathize with the certain characters of the film wanted me to sympathize with, because I didn't turn into a psychopath from all that bullshit from 4 years on. I'm a regular guy. I'm an average okay guy. But it's just like one of those things, like they're trying to vilify certain characters for doing something that they did like 15, 20 years ago or something like that. And just like, it didn't quite affect me in that type of way. It didn't click that way, because I've been in that situation, being the guy on the ass end of all that type of abuse. Not to the extent that this film suggests that certain characters went through, but just the fact that I was in that situation where I got picked on a daily basis for almost 4 years straight. I turned out alright. So just like, can't really vilify certain characters of the film wanted me to vilify, because that's just my own personal history, my own personal feelings on the thing. So my own experiences kind of got in the way of how the film really wanted me to feel about all the events and the characters and how everything went along in a certain way. But regardless of my own personal feelings getting in the way of that, obviously my own personal feelings were not going to be the feelings of other people. So I definitely think a lot of people are going to really have a satisfying time seeing this film, which is very smart. Everything is done with Joel Edgerton's writing and directing, and the way he puts the cast together, I think is a very admirable type of thing. That he definitely deserves a very high level of praise for everything that he accomplished with this film, because he just looks like a totally seasoned director taking on this thing. And he had done like 2 short films before this, and obviously he's been an actor for a very long time, probably learning from some very, very, very talented filmmakers. So the guy definitely brought it here. He doesn't show any kind of green rookie type of amateur filmmaker style. He is very, very much on the top of his game, delivering something that is very impressive. I definitely highly recommend you guys checking out The Gift as soon as you possibly can, because it's one of the best psychological thrillers we've gotten in recent times. So it's definitely worthwhile to see it. So those are my thoughts on the film. If you guys have seen it so far, definitely appreciate hearing your thoughts and feelings about the film in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the review, your thumbs up for the likes, everything would be highly appreciated, along with circulating the links around social media and everything, retweeting, Facebook, everything, Tumblr, whatever it is. And you can also find RavensFilm Productions and a little bit of RavensFilm Mag over on Facebook and various other social media outlets. So definitely appreciate you guys following me there and keeping up to date with a lot of various things I got going on and whatever I have. So I definitely plan on doing some retrospective reviews for the rest of the month. I'm looking to start up reviews of Pitch Black and the Chronicles of Riddick, and I got the theatrical and director's cut versions of the 4th Rambo film on Blu-ray, so I'll be watching both versions, because a lot of people have been, it seems, very divisive about which version people like, because some people say the director's cut is terrible, some people say the theatrical cut is terrible. But so I'm going to definitely be watching both versions and giving you a full overview of that 4th film in that franchise in a couple of weeks, I believe. So definitely going to get on top of that, and I appreciate you guys watching things around here. Again, circulate the links, comments, likes, all that kind of stuff. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely appreciate it. We're getting up to like 800 subscribers now, which is fantastic. We only just hit 500 back in like February, so it's like, this is very pleasing to me that we're getting so much traction here. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching and supporting things around here. So I'll be back in due time with some other interesting reviews. So I hope you guys take care, and bye-bye.